Hello dear friends, welcome to my channel. Today I'm translating an interview between a fellow YouTuber and Jojo Garden. I have found it very interesting and decided to translate for everyone. First, I would like to introduce this YouTuber. His name is Mike and his channel is called US Westland. He is a physicist, an educator, a spiritual teacher, and an ardent student and interpreter of Seth material written by Jane Roberts. He has a lot of unique perspective on many things, and I found it be quite interesting and enlightening. I decided to translate some of his talks and title it Mike Talks. Without further ado, we'll start with Mike's interview from April 22nd, 2021. The topic is how to find your twin flame. Jojo says, "Hello Mike, today's topic is how to find your soulmate or twin flame." Mike says, "Hi Jojo, this is a very interesting topic. It has become one of the most popular topics in the spiritual circle. There are also others who are not as spiritual but have heard and are interested in the concept of soulmate and twin flame. From the level and views of higher vibration, you may explore from the following perspectives. As you become more and more spiritual oriented, many people may experience isolation and some loneliness, as others around you suddenly can't understand you anymore. You may be reading, listening, and exploring many venues that are off the beaten path and more esoteric in nature. At this point, you will feel quite lonely and will need someone who understands you and of the same vibration to bounce ideas off or resonate with. When this person appears in your life, you will feel great joy and sense of finally finding your soulmate or twin flame. There is a subtle difference between the two. Twin flame is believed to be one soul split into two physical bodies, while soulmate are two independent souls who resonate at similar frequency or vibration and can compensate or complete each other. In the beginning of our spiritual journey, it is often an individual's desire to have such a companion to walk along with during the process of going within to self-realize. As you advance further up, it is no longer necessary to have this need for twin flame or soulmate. In other words, the mate you're searching for is actually a projection of yourself, another you. Sometimes you may recognize this, and other times you may not be fully aware. For example, if you're a guy searching for a girl, twin flame, or soulmate, the girl could be you manifest in a female body. Many people think that opposite attract, maybe finding someone who is very different from you and who can complement you is better. In the short term, the attraction is great, and what you don't have, the others have, and vice versa. However, many times this type of relationship eventually is not very long-lasting due to their differences. For the longer term, the person who vibrate at similar frequencies and have similar worldview, value view, and life view will often be a better fit. So whether they are your life partner or spiritual twins, in fact, most time they are more of reflection or mirror image of our own true self, another me per se. It is the idea of another state of the self in a different body or with different gender. When you understand this truth, you will start to understand the true essence of soulmate twin flame dynamic. In fact, you will understand that the person you are looking for is yourself. As you become more and more complete and whole as a soul, you will be satisfied and be fulfilled going within, and no longer be needing to find someone outside of you. Secondly, in our life experience, if your spiritual partner appears, then he appears. You don't need to go look for him deliberately, as you don't have to deliberately search or pursue to find him or her. You just allow and follow the situation and be open. He will appear naturally when it is time for him to come, and when he does not appear, there is no need to do anything. Just live your life as is. A kind of fatalism would say, whatever will happen, will happen. But we may also say that it is your knowing higher self actually making the best arrangement for you with your own inner knowing and inner guidance and your future self. That is, you just follow this arrangement. When this person appears in your 3D life, if you feel like you want to be with him, then by all means be with him. However, if you don't want to be with him, you always have the choice of not being together. Many times with soulmate connections, there is often a lot of moral dilemma and pressure. As a twin flame may not be your current life partner or boyfriend and girlfriend, then you will feel in great pain or even be in agony at this time, as you have to withstand the pressure of the world or morality or self-moral constraints. You have to make a choice of whether to take the step of being with a spiritual partner or stay with your current relationship. Whichever the choice, it is part of your chosen life lesson and your life experience. There is no right or wrong, good or bad answer. Seeing his current consciousness, his own decision, some people may answer the call of twin flame connection once they have struggled with this question, but many others may just let it go, and so on. For people who is on twin flame and soulmate journey, they often come to me and seek consultation on such moral dilemmas. For others who have not experienced this type of connection, they may question if the twin flame soulmate idea is total nonsense and just ethereal mumbo-jumbo, and may just be an excuse to have extramarital affairs or is an excuse to be irresponsible. In certain situations, this could be true. Therefore, the matter of soulmate and twin flame connection is very personal, and how a person decides is entirely up to him. In the higher spiritual dimensions, there's no such social and moral constraints. However, you are living in the 3D human world. You are living in this society, in this world, and you will inevitably be affected by the social consciousness of the mainstream ideologies of our society and your morality. You cannot do without it, and you cannot say that I am independent of this social structure or social environment. I actually look at this as your personal decision. It is difficult to give a unified or unanimous suggestion. No one can tell you what you should do, such as leave your life partner for a soulmate or twin. I think it is different from person to person. Everyone's choice, decision, and therefore experiences will be different. There is no right or wrong. Jojo asks, so what about the soul, Mike? What does the soul want? Mike says, good question. There are only two things a soul wants. That is, 1, to create, and 2, to experience. Jojo says, okay, so what is the purpose of spiritual partnership? Mike answers, the purpose is actually more like a mirror of the self. Like all of you ladies, you know that you like to look at yourself in the mirror. This way, you can view yourself better, and you want to see how beautiful you are through the reflections. Jojo says, so Mike, how do we use this type of partnership to ascend our own soul and spirituality? Mike says, our own soul is always in the process of learning and ascending. As your spiritual partner is a mirror of the self, many times he or she may display a characteristics that you possess but have not displayed or developed fully. It could be a characteristic that was hidden from you previously, such as her ability to embrace life more fully, more vibrantly, more authentically being herself. These are the traits you want to develop, so you learn from her. You would think, if she can do it, why can't I? Jojo says, yeah, many times a girl like a guy and may enviously say, wow, he is so eloquent. In fact, she can be just like him. The person she likes actually possess a gift that she can also have and can also develop. Is that correct? Mike says yes. Jojo says, another question is, how do we nourish our spiritual partner? Mike answers, yes, the core here is mutual achievement. This mutual achievement does not mean you have to sacrifice anything. By being your best self, by working on your life purpose and goals, you're actually enriching your spiritual partner. So as you are achieving, you are helping the others achieve also. In other words, a poem by an Ireland poet, Royal Croft, named Love. One of the sentences is, I love you, not only for what you are, but for what I am when I'm with you. So when your partner is with you, you are the better version of him or her, or you are the version of her that she is working towards. If you are living the best life you could, the others will see you as a mirror and realize, yes, I too can live as creatively, as abundantly, as joyfully. Then you are nourishing her so that she can live to her fullest potential. Jojo says, yes, in many ways, we have to live the best version of ourselves. In this way, you can then nourish the others. Only when you are full of love, you can share this love with others. When you are joyful, you can then share this happiness with the others. Mike says, yes, if you can completely accept him, contain him. By accepting your partner's shortcomings, you are accepting yourself. This is because, in many ways, the shortcoming of your soulmate and twin flame is also things you need to work on, but you won't see it otherwise, as a partnership is like a mirror to each other. Let's say when you are this mirror, if you can accept your partner, either life partner or spiritual partner, then you can completely accept his shortcomings. You can then completely let go of your own ego. Your love will be more direct and more sincere. You will not say, you have to be such and such, then I will love you. Instead, you will say, no matter what you are, I will love you. I do not have any logic, any reason, any condition. I just love you as you are. You don't need to do anything to earn my love. This state of unconditional love is often difficult to achieve for average person. But when you truly feel this unconditional love and acceptance, you are able to nourish your partner. Jojo says, some people tell me when they are in love, they will sacrifice a lot for the other. Like the saying that they'd rather not eat and let the beloved eat. Then this is true love. What do you think about that? Mike answers, I don't think these type of thoughts are correct. To nourish the other is not to do something for the other, or to sacrifice or give up something so the others can achieve. Otherwise, there will be an imbalance. If this is your thought process, you will have separation between me and the other, and also have the thought of doing for someone. Once you have the thought of for, then you will have the expectation of paying back or return, either in the emotional or material realms. As soon as you have the thought of give and receive, then emotion is no longer pure. It becomes a business transaction. When the relationship is built on giving without expectation, it is the most innocent, pure, and most beautiful. As soon as you have the thought of sacrifice something for another, automatically you will have expectation of receiving something in return. Even though you may say that you're giving freely, but in fact, sacrifice and expectation go hand in hand. Jojo says, so when we give without expectation, we give in the spirit of joy. Mike answers, yes. Of course, initially it is difficult for a person to give without expectation, but once you achieve this state, you will truly experience joy and true love. This is also why people reminisce about their first love, first teenage crush. It is because at that age, there is not too many material, social, status, and ego considerations. It is the sincere, purest love of innocence without wanting anything in return. That is why first love are often unforgettable and special. Jojo then asks, so when one complains of their partner's issues, it is actually not the partner's shortcomings. It is in some ways our own shortcoming? Mike agrees, yes. Many times it is a reflection of your own issues that you need to be aware of or work through. Jojo says, oh, I see. Then your relationship will be better if you are self-aware and self-reflect and no longer point the finger at the other person. From high vibration stance, sometimes you can view your shortcomings as an opportunity to advance spiritually. When you finally see your own shortcomings through the reflection of the other, you can then try to work through it and transform it into a strength of a gift. Mike agrees, yes, that is correct. Jojo then asks, Do you think twin flame soul connection is purposed by the divine or the universe? Mike says, from one point of view, it is arrangement of your own life script. You come to this life to experience, so there is always a storyline. Soulmate and twin flame connection is similar to a script of your life story. But this arrangement is not predestined or static. You can change it by your mind, thoughts, and your present belief system. It is entirely changeable. Jojo asks, do we only have one soulmate or twin flame? Mike says, well, not exactly. At different phases of your life, you will have different needs. In reality, all of the soulmate and twin flame is a reflection of the self. At different life stages, your inner self are different, and the reflection of the manifested self or soul partner will be different. Jojo says, well, Mike, if what you say is true, then the relationship of soulmate twin flame is as unstable and changeable as our 3D relationships. For instance, you may have a soulmate in college, then another one when you get more mature later in life, and maybe another one when you finally become a successful leader and such. As you morph to different stages of your life, the soulmate or twin flame you manifest will be different each time. Then you have to change multiple soulmate or twin flame in your lifetime? Mike says, well, this is possible. Some people feel the relationship with my 3D life partner is not stable. So what if I find my spiritual partner? Wouldn't this relationship be more consistent and long-lasting? In actuality, this view is incorrect. This person is trying to substitute instability in our 3D material world to a more stable and longer-lasting spiritual world connection. This type of thinking is not correct because in our spiritual world, just like our 3D world, it is also constantly changing and developing. In our world, whether it is 3D, 4D, or 5D, nothing is absolute, nothing is unchangeable. When you're searching for the stability, what you're trying to is to hold on to something, and then that thing will no longer be alive. Jojo asks, so Mike, I'm thinking, can the partners grow in step with each other in spiritual growth so that they may be together for a long time? If one keeps on changing spiritual partners, just like our 3D partners, then that person will be lonely at the end. We really should help each other in spiritual growth to keep at the same vibration or frequency. If my partner lags behind a little bit, I should help him, forgive him, and try to encourage him to keep up with me. Isn't that correct? Mike answers, yes, a lot of people are doing exactly this. They are helping and promoting their partner's advance in spirituality. But at its very core, this is not the purpose of spiritual partnership. The main purpose is not to wait around or only to help the other to advance. This is indicating that this person have not let go of the tie toward emotions, society responsibilities, and moral constraints. He or she is bringing the 3D concept of partnership into the higher dimension of spiritual relationship. He will still be bounded by the moral constraints such as one partner for life, concept of being with each other forever. All these are not exactly as is in the spiritual realm. In the view of spirit, there is not concept of time. In that millisecond of the present or now, when you first look into each other's eyes and feel the connection, that moment in time is already forever. Then where else are you going to look to find forever? Do you have to constrain it with our human understanding of time? 10 years, 20 years, 3 lifetimes, 500 reincarnated lifetime as husband and wife? All these are 3D concepts people are trying to fit into the spiritual realm. But in fact, there is no time or space in the spiritual higher dimensions. You are only trying to model the 4D and 5D with our 3D wishes and dreams. You wonder if spiritual relationship is like 3D husband-wife, need spiritual contract just like a marriage license. You may even find many thoughts on the internet such as spiritual contracts or how to cancel or break spiritual contracts, like getting a divorce in our 3D life. All this is quite interesting. So, how do we know we have found our twin flame or soulmate? What are the signs? Mike says, in fact, when that person appears in your life, you will immediately know in your heart and your subconscious senses. If you are sensitive enough, or if you are authentic and listen to your inner knowing, as long as you are brave enough to face the self, you will know at the very instant when that soul partner appears. Jojo says, some people will say, I fell in love at first sight, but after the initial period of a high emotional chemistry, you suddenly lose interest and wonder how you could ever been so blinded. Like the saying, a beauty from afar and a pile when you get close. As you get to know each other better, you discover many incompatibilities and faults of the other. Then you realize that person is not truly your twin flame or soulmate. What do you think? Mike says, yes, just like what you have said. The foundation of these type of relationship is chemistry-based, hormone-based, like the traditional psychology of attraction between male and female. They think the attraction is due to hormone, pheromones, or such 3D material world concepts. When it is your true soulmate or twin flame, when this person appears in your life, you will sense a lot of feelings and states or synchrodestinies. One of the typical signs is that you can communicate telepathically. You can know what she or he is thinking before they even say it. For example, when she says, hey, I want to tell you something, you immediately know what she's going to say. When she does tell you, your guess is absolutely correct. When this happens over and over, you will know. In many times, you and your partner is able to communicate with heart energy. This type of telepathy just happens organically. You cannot train or force it to happen. If you have telepathy or not, the two partners will clearly know. Jojo then says, but Mike, do you know there are cases when a seasoned player will disguise himself as soulmate or twin flame to an innocent girl by telling them everything they want to hear? This type of players will net a lot of lovesick girls using this strategy. These girls will say, my boyfriend knows everything I need and want and understand me. Then come to find out later, it is only a mask and a bait. Mike agrees, yes, true. If your awareness is higher, then people who are less aware than you is often very comfortable to be in your presence. Whenever you go out or have a conversation, the person who is less aware will feel that you understand them fully and know exactly what they want. But don't forget, this is only one way. He can know your thoughts, but can you know his thoughts? If you cannot walk into his heart, then it's not twin flame or soulmate connection. It has to be mutual. You also have to understand him at a soul level. If not, then it only means that he has more awareness and may have more life experiences and are more seasoned. It does not mean that you have a twin flame or soulmate connection with each other. Unfortunately, a lot of young girls fall in love with this type of dynamic, thinking it is a spiritual connection, while it is just a fake mask. Jojo agrees, I understand. So when you encounter who you think is your soulmate, you must see if the understanding is bidirectional. If there is unconditional love and acceptance, you must see what his authentic spirit essence is. Mike says, yes. So if someone can walk into your heart, you feel very happy and comfortable. But if you cannot walk into his heart and understand him at a soul level, then you're not special for this person. If you can speak one sentence and immediately know and understand what he is thinking or feeling, then regardless of your physical beauty, he may view you as unique and different and admirable. Jojo says, so many times the person's growth background and history is very important. Also, I feel another important characteristic is that you may feel the person's pain. When you can feel the other's pain, you can walk into that person's heart. So you may observe, as each of us has a spiritual lesson we need to learn in our lifetime, you can attempt to see what is your partner's spiritual lesson and how you may help him. In this way, you may be able to connect at a deeper level, correct? Mike agrees, yes. Jojo then asks, so Mike, what what are the steps to find our soulmate or twin flame? Mike answers, there is a lot of information online that have been summarizing to different steps or stages of the twin flame soulmate connection. I don't quite remember exactly, but if I can recall, the first step is to discover each other. This step is the experience of joy of finally finding the other. In this stage, there can also be much frustration and pain, as only one party may recognize the other, but his or her partner may be completely oblivious. She or he may even think that the aware party is trying to seduce him or her. Then after this stage, both parties will know and understand, we have a soul connection which is rare and special. At this stage, the dynamic may many times turn into a runner-chasing dynamic. At this connection is very triggering and will unearth many subconscious fears and overwhelm the partners. Many times the two people are from very different socio-economical background, or they are already in a committed relationship, and their relationship is against social or moral standards. They will start to doubt if they will ever be together in union. At this juncture, people once again bring the forever concept of the 3D, try to fit it into the spiritual higher dimension. One party will try to run away from the connection, and the other will try to chase after the runner. Sometimes both parties will try to run away. Once the running has started, there are so much longing and agony with both parties, because neither of them can actually run away. Because his or her heart knows better, because he or she cannot experience this type of deep connection, spiritual resonance with anyone else. That type of ecstasy and comfort of being finally at home with each other, type of feeling that nobody or physical bond, it is the spiritual bond. The resonance is a higher frequency. You cannot find another being in this world who can replace this connection. So it is very difficult. There will be a lot of internal battle of what to do. You want to be together, but there are so many obstacles, either internal or external circumstances to work through. It is different for each person. The next stage is acceptance. So both parties are tired of running and chasing. They start to accept the reality of this connection. If the fate let us meet and we are soulmate or twin flame of the same vibration, then we will accept it and no longer fight against it. This acceptance is accepting the authentic self, the own heart voice and desire. It is the acceptance of the true self, not the relationship. He can no longer lie to himself. The final and last stage is union. The two will finally unite and together face and combat judgment from self-morality, from family members, from society, and such. These are the typical stages or passage of the soulmate twin flame connection. Jojo says, yes. This leads me to think about an analogy. If I am a light bulb, then my partner is electricity. We both exist as our own self, but when we're together, the electricity passes through the light bulb, and then we shine upon the world as a couple, create even more value for this world. For soulmate and twin flame connections, you don't really need to look for them. If you can shine on your own, then the person of similar frequency will come to find you. Just like a flower that is blossoming will attract bees and butterflies, and a green lush pasture will attract wild horses. Mike agrees. Yes. Did you know that you have angels and guides who will look for your soulmate and twin flame for you? You are actually sending out subconscious message in your energy sphere of these wishes. It is like most girls who will automatically know which guys like them. But how do they know? It is because you have these energy detectives who will feel out the other's energy first before you are consciously aware of the attraction. This is above our normal 3D thinking of logically evaluate the other party, such as for looks, the social status, or economic status, etc. Many times you will hear girls say they want that feeling or knowingness of finding the one. Once they find the one, their prior condition of finding someone who is tall and dark and handsome or rich, many times these criteria go out the window as they follow their heart. If you ask these girls, what is this feeling that you're talking about? They can't really verbalize it, but they know in their heart. So this is a case that Energy Cupid was engaging in searching for the one for her. So you don't need to deliberately search for your spiritual partner. All you need is to be open-hearted and have the desire of finding your twin flame or soulmate. Your Energy Cupid will find the one for you. Jojo says, another important point is that you have to be enough and complete as who you are and not needy. One of my girlfriends complains that she always encounters players and liars. I asked, what do these people have in common? She says all of them show her how successful they are and then later come to find out that they're really not so special as a person. When a person is needy and not grounded in the self to be abundant and complete and full as herself, then they will inevitably attract the wrong type of person, the fake twin flame or soulmate. Another big question is that can we manifest our soulmate and twin flame in the reality by law of attraction? Mike answers, that's a good question. In my personal opinion, I don't believe so. This is a reason. First, when you have ascended high enough to be able to manifest soulmate or twin flame, you are already complete as who you are, inner soul-wise. You do not need a soulmate or twin flame at this time to walk along, as you already have the male and female union within, and therefore you will not have any desire to manifest a soulmate or twin flame in the 3D reality. When you don't have this full ability to manifest yet, then you cannot manifest the soulmate or twin flame connection. Jojo says, yes, Mike, I hear what you're saying. Here are a couple of other listeners' views on this subject. One person says that you cannot search and find the soulmate twin flame deliberately, but you can create. You can create each other. Another listener says, enjoy the eternity in the present, the now. Be with the source of universe. Then you can find true love, harmony, and joy. The best version of soulmate twin flame connection is with the universe. There is also other views of how to manifest soulmate or twin flame connection. It is by feeling that you are already with your spiritual partner. You are your own twin flame or soulmate, and be satisfied in the self being your own twin. You are in union with the self and don't need an external soulmate. When you are in the state of satisfaction, you can then attract your 3D soulmate. Your joy and imagination of already having this spiritual partner with you will attract the 3D spiritual partner. We also have to heal our past, our own inner child pain. Once we are healed, joyful, and are in union with the self, then we can manifest our spiritual partner. Mike agrees, yes, our soul's ultimate desire is to create and to experience. Each of us is developing on the soul journey of our own. The twin flame, soulmate, is in essence a version of ourselves, a branch of who you are, like the mirror. If it comes one day, you know your own beauty and confidently see yourself as exactly who you are are able to walk out of the house without first check yourself in this mirror. So in my opinion, when you have awareness of that you are already complete, you are already beautiful as who you are already loved unconditionally, just as is, then you will not have the need or desire of finding a twin flame or soulmate. Jojo says, yes. Many times when we're in relationships, especially close relationships, we see so many aspects of ourselves. The fault of others are many times our own issues that we are needing of healing. For instance, when your boyfriend ghosts you, have you turned around and think, have I ignored myself? Have I not met my own needs lately? Have I loved myself enough lately? This way, your relationship will improve tremendously, as you no longer begging for attention, no longer complain or judge. Instead, you foster each other, care for each other, and support the other grow. Mike laughs. Yes, if you keep on calling and talking to your inner self, your boyfriend can't even call in because the line is always busy and occupied. You won't be waiting for him to call. Jojo says, yes, thank you, Mike. Now to summarize how to find our own soulmate and twin flame. Number 1 is that you don't need to search for this person. You attracted this person by being your best self. Secondly, you can have many hobbies to experience. And when you are having fun and enjoy yourself, you never know, your soulmate might just show up. And lastly, be your authentic self. Don't do anything or change for others. You never know, the others may just like your uniqueness, like the freckles on your face. Our soul is very real and very pure. By being genuine and accept yourself as who you are, you can attract your soulmate and twin flame. Remember, only when you accept and love yourself, then you can accept and love the others in perfection. In this way, your relationship can come close to perfection as much as possible. Thank you, Mike, for your time and your insight. Mike says, thank you, Jojo. See you next time. BelovedWay says, thank you everyone for listening to my translation of Mike Talks. Please note that the opinions expressed in this interview does not represent BelovedWay's personal beliefs and life views. This video is for entertainment purpose only. Thank you for listening and look forward to our next meeting.